talk much more about their techniques, but they knew what they were looking for. And we found this individual. A lot of questioning was going on, and the FBI was able to file a complaint, and certainly we'll be looking at, if there's any state charges simultaneously. We'll be coordinating with the FBI and the local DAs on that question. But I want to make an example and say, as I said on Monday when I told those students, if you do this, you will be caught and you'll be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Beyond that incident, we're hearing that this has had such an uptick on college campuses elsewhere and even at the high school level.
That's what's so shocking about this. I mean, this is a time when New Yorkers can come together, and there are people that are being so cruel to each other. It's not who we are as New Yorkers, and that has to be taught to these high school students and the college students to know what our values are as New Yorkers. People come to this state because of our diversity. We celebrate it. Different religions, ethnic backgrounds, races. This is the melting pot of the nation. And for New Yorkers to be at war with other New Yorkers because their passions are so inflamed over how they feel about what's happening in the Middle East, that cannot bleed into our society and make students feel threatened, whether it's by fellow classmates or whether it's someone calling for violence against them on social media. This is a reckoning for New Yorkers right now, and I'm calling on New Yorkers to stand up for each other. When you see a fellow student being harassed, stand up for them, intercede, help them.
Molly, just if you could talk to us a little bit first, how things have been for you, how they have been for other Jewish students on campus. This is an incredibly scary time. Tell us what you're hearing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brianna, for giving me the opportunity to speak with everyone today. Jewish students on campus right now are unbelievably terrified for their lives. It's not okay to have anti-Semitic attacks on campus or on any place in this world. We are scared to go back to our home. We are scared to be in the kosher dining hall, but we are remaining strong as much as we can.
Rabbi, what are you hearing?
So I would just add to what Molly said, and I'll just say, for the last 3 weeks, Jewish students at Cornell, as they have around the country, are in mourning. This is a really difficult time. Everyone knows someone who was taken hostage or who was murdered on October 7th. And then over the last 3 weeks, as students have returned to campus, there's been one incident after another. And this is happening nationwide, and unfortunately it's happening at Cornell as well, where a professor said some really horrific things. There was anti-Zionist and anti-Semitic graffiti last week, and then on Sunday we saw this horrible and vile posts that appeared around campus, and it's really shooken us to the core to see that. At the same time, we were just deeply appreciative of Cornell University Police Department, who are out en masse to support Jewish students and Jewish life at Cornell, as they are for all students at Cornell.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is you're to that point where many students, they need that. They need that as a precaution. And Molly, you spoke with the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. I just read some of her words. Do you feel that school officials, do you feel that elected officials are doing everything they need to do to protect you and other students?
Yes. Governor Hochul and President Pollack of Cornell University ensured that they are doing everything they can. And we have every type of police outside of our building 24/7 to make sure that we are safe. And we cannot express our appreciation anymore.
Molly, have you been surprised in the wake of the attack on October 7th and what has transpired since then, the war between Israel and Hamas? Have you been surprised by the level of anti-Semitism that it has displayed, that it has revealed?
Unfortunately, we've been in a world where Jewish students on campuses have been under attack for many, many decades and have been feeling extremely unsafe. But I never would have expected this to happen on my own campus, to happen in my own home. And I am sending strength to all of my other students who are going through this extremely difficult time and this unprecedented time. And I hope that this can be over soon for everyone.
Rabbi, I wonder, we talk so much about the discourse on campuses. Do you think there is room for people to talk about, do you think there is room for an opinion where people think, yes, what happened on October 7th is atrocious. Yes, they are concerned about the hostages, just this extraordinary, horrific situation with hostages in Gaza, but also they don't like what's happening to civilians in Gaza, to children in Gaza, that they think that's atrocious as well. Why isn't that taking up more of the conversation?
First, just to say, the loss of any innocent life is tragic. And I think that's an important thing to say. The loss of any individual life is tragic, whether they are Israeli or Palestinian. I think at the same time, it's important to say that Israel's war today is a defensive war. Israel was attacked on October 7th. Over 1,000 people were murdered. Over 200 people were taken hostage. Any other country would respond defensively. It is a just war. And we are open to having that conversation and to hearing other opinions as well. But I think it's important to have that moral clarity to say that what happened, that what Israel is doing currently is a just war and it is a defensive war. Our core work is also just to support students. Well, students are having many different types of feelings we want to process with them. We have rabbis on our staff, we have educators on our staff, and we're there at Hillel to support Jewish students right now. Over the last 3 weeks, we've come together several times, over 1,000 people cumulatively, to hold a vigil for Jewish students and to hold a rally to demand that the hostages come home.